Welcome to OIA Conversations, where we share information and learn more about people, programs, and issues that are relevant to our work and important to the United States territories and to the freely associated states. I'm Tanya Joshua, Deputy Director of Technical Assistance Programs and Communications Lead in the Office of Insular Affairs at the U.S. Department of the Interior. Today, we are pleased to sit down with the Commissioner of the Pohnpei Public Broadcasting Corporation and V6AH Radio. Our guest today, Mr. Peterson Sam, joins us from Pohnpei in the Federated States of Micronesia. Mr. Sam, welcome.
Hello, Tanya, and thank you very much for having me in this program. Before we go any further, please allow me to express or say my salutations in Pohnpeian. Kalangan promise. Mon me koros iman perungun waunuki anilap samatai coach. Kaping welki kubur rasulap mesansal ran sapulma aramas o kapukan koros. Ay jungal sekratan kay panilap pon eraksyon kalabako and Pohnpei waunuki isonan kan likan nanalap o nan kanikan. Ay jungal wow toror o kapila and win Pohnpei. Kapila Karyao, Speaker and Legislature Kaisak, Sion Kapung Labalap, o Labalapakan nan Momotso, Jack o government. O ay jungal wow o tonway unsak. Ipinman uya ay jungal sekratan wow toror o kong maing Tanya. Kalangan ki pamupil. May tiyang iya ay jungal ay show yan kakpatayang komunan program.
Kailangan ng kamoy maing commissioner implement pa siya nga siya sa karanwaw me kung siyang kagayler o bilwaw ng karos me pan yang patrawan tayo masani program and run which kailangan. Mr. Commissioner, the Pohnpei Public Radio Station received some technical assistance funds in fiscal year 2021. And so we wanted to know more about your program at the radio station and the public that you serve.
Hey, Kalangan Tanya. Yes, the station, the V6AH radio station, received generous funding from OIA in the amount of $237,444. The Pohnpei Public Broadcasting Corporation, or PBPC, with the call name V6AH, was established by law in Pohnpei State to operate and manage the state's only radio station, AM radio station. So we, in order to expand or improve our services, we submitted with the assistance and support of the Office of the Governor, we submitted an application or a proposal to buy a new radio AM transmitter, a new radio FM transmitter, voice over internet protocol phone system, and additional solar panels for our existing solar system.
And you mentioned the last piece was solar panels. Is how much of your operation depends on the solar panels versus power from the utilities?
Well, just the transmitter alone, the AM transmitter alone, the capacity is 10,000 watts. So adding all the other equipments and lightings and all that, we're looking at between 10 and 20 kilowatt that the station needs. With the solar system that we have now, the capacity is at 10,000 watts, but the peak amount that it produces per day, not the whole day, but during the clear days, it goes up to 9 kilowatts. So that's taking up, yeah, and okay. The system is connected to the PUC grid. So whatever the system produces, that's the that considers as our main source of power. So all the whatever is needed or the remaining that we need is being feed from the PUC grid. So if the system is producing, for example, 5 kilowatts, and we need 10 kilowatts, then only 5 kilowatts is being fed from the PUC grid. And
Fantastic.
we'd like to double that to reduce the amount that the amount of electricity cost that we're paying to provide these services.
Yes, thank you. And then maybe back to the transmitters. So tell us a little bit. I understand that the system is very old and it's been a long time. Your transmitters. Could you speak to that?
Yes, thank you. The transmitter, it's more than 4 years old, but I'm not sure exactly how old it is. But it is at the point where, or in the condition where maintaining it is almost impossible. It is so obsolete, or it's so old now that they don't make the parts anymore. So whatever parts that we have now, that's it. If we don't have any other parts to replace with the damaged ones, then the station will be down. At the moment, we're operating the transmitter at 40% of its capacity.
So does that mean you don't reach as far? You're not reaching as far as you need to?
Yes, because of that, a lot of places in Matalinima, especially in Matalinima and in Pichi, the further away places are not receiving the transmitter, the signal, the radio signal, or if they do, then very, very minimal and not clear.
And so that means the outer islands as well. Now, when you get your new equipment, you'll be able to provide services to them as well, to reach them.
At the moment, I believe we're reaching them. We haven't. We're planning to send out somebody to a survey, but I believe we're reaching the outer islands, or at least some of the outer islands. But with the new system, definitely we will be reaching everyone on the main proper and the outer islands.
Mr. Commissioner, I did the math, and the Federated States of Micronesia signed the first Compact of Free Association in 1986. That was 35 years ago, 35 or 37 years ago, 35. So maybe the transmitters are from Trust Territory days.
I believe so.
Mr. Commissioner, what sorts of programs does the radio station offer and provide to the public?
The station provides especially awareness programs, health, educational, and environmental programs. We also have programs being daily broadcasted from the Office of the Governor, Office of the President, Speaker of the 10th Legislature, and a lot of other programs that we broadcast. It's worthwhile to mention that U.S. Ambassador here, Ambassador Carmen G. Cantor, has a new program that calls American Wave, and that's being broadcasted twice a week on Fridays and on Saturdays. This is she has more than 60 programs already.
Oh, that's impressive. I did an interview with her, Mr. Commissioner, with the ambassador, a similar conversation with her. And she mentioned that she was an ambassador, but she was also a DJ working a radio program.
It's a very, very nice program. It covers a lot of issues, and at the same time, the program plays the American music that relates to those issues.
Mr. Commissioner, you mentioned that actually, as we speak, the governor's office is holding a hearing on minimum wage. Could you talk a little bit to us about that?
At the moment, we have a live coverage event at the governor's office. The event is regarding the minimum wage. They're trying to increase the minimum wage, and they're addressing the issue at the moment live in YouTube, in Facebook, on AM radio station, FM radio station, and cable TV channel 22.
I'm very impressed that you are on social media, YouTube, Facebook, and you have thousands of people in the thousands watch and listen to your programs. I saw you had a Christmas tree lighting ceremony a couple days ago. The governor's
It was on Friday, yes. Well, with the assistance and support of the telecommunications corporation, the FSM telecommunications corporations, we're able to provide all these services. Without their support, we cannot upload or stream live all these daily live feeds and all the special live events like the ones that we did on Friday, which covered or broadcasted or streamed the lighting of the Christmas tree at the governor's office.
I've also had the pleasure to watch several Women's Day programs. They're very popular also.
Yes, thank you. We also have women's programs that we also cover their live events, and they also bring in their public awareness programs that we also broadcast.
It seems like the programs are very popular with Pohnpeians who live outside of Pohnpei. Many of them seem to be dialing in and watching and listening to the radio station.
Yes, a lot of Pohnpeians out there are also watching, and we also noticed that we can see them in joining our live YouTube feeds, YouTube live feeds, and Facebook live feeds, and we really appreciate their joining the programs, our daily programs. And we also receive very good comments from a lot of them. Thank you very much. We please keep on tuning in, and we will be providing a lot more updates and more programs for you.
I'm very excited for your program, that the radio station will be strengthened. You mentioned in a conversation we had about a billboard, that you will be getting a new billboard. That's not part of our OIA funds, but I thought maybe you wanted to share that with our listening audience.
Thank you. Yes, we already have that billboard here on island. It's 7 by 12, approximately 7 by 12 feet billboard, digital billboard. And we hope to have that installed in town in a few months. And that billboard will be displaying whatever you see in our YouTube and Facebook live feeds on online billboard.
Just a quick, I understand you're part of the COVID-19 task force in Pohnpei. Is that the case? And could you give us an update a little bit about what is happening with repatriations to Pohnpei?
Kalangan, yes, I am a member of the Pohnpei COVID-19 emergency task force. And repatriation now, as you know, the borders are still closed, but the flights are still coming in every day and bringing mail and other cargo that come in every day. But then once a month or so, the FSM government opens up or allows those that are stranded to be repatriated. And we're assisting with that process, the repatriation process. At the moment, if you'd like to be registered, you can register online through the governor's office website, which is pohnpeistate.gov.fm. And there's a link there that you can follow to fill out the application in there and upload all the necessary documents to submit your application. From there, then there's a committee that reviews the list based on the categories set forth in the constitutional emergency order as amended.
Yes, and that has been, well, your borders, the FSM's borders have been closed since the beginning of the pandemic, pretty much, the COVID-19 pandemic.
If I'm not mistaken, since March 2020.
Wow. Mr. Commissioner, there's a very unique sound on the radio station that plays early in the morning. The sound of the pounding of sakao. Could you tell us a little bit about what that means in Pohnpeian culture and why that is important?
This is the voice of Pohnpei, P6AH Radio, now resuming its transmission from Kalanyanet, Pohnpei State in the Federated States of Micronesia. P6AH Radio is owned by Pohnpei State Government and operated by Pohnpei Public Broadcasting Corporation on an assigned frequency of 1449 kHz with an output power of 10,000 watts.
Well, thank you. If I'm not mistaken, this very unique sound, as you put it, has been going on since the inception of the station. And I really commend them for coming up with that concept or that idea to include, especially in the beginning or the opening of the radio station, because it's unique to us Pohnpeians. When you hear that, you immediately know that this is Pohnpei, and we use that or we do that at the sakao ceremonies, and they say that when we do that, we're inviting others to come and join us with the shell of sakao, and with that same concept, I believe they use that same concept to open up the radio station to invite the listeners to come and to let them know that we're opening up, inviting you to join us.
That's very beautiful, representing Pohnpeian hospitality. Mr. Commissioner, is there anything else that you would like to share with our listeners about the Pohnpei radio station? We've been speaking with Mr. Peterson Sam, the Commissioner of the Pohnpei Public Broadcasting Corporation and the V6AH Radio, FM and AM in Pohnpei in the Federated States of Micronesia. It's been a pleasure, Mr. Sam. Any last words you would like to share with us?
Hey, Kalagan, Tanya. Maybe firstly, I'd like to thank all the listeners, all those that tune into our AM transmissions, AM radio station, FM radio station, and especially those out there tuning into our Facebook live feeds and YouTube live feeds. We really appreciate you joining us. Please, if any services or anything that you'd like to see improve, just comment or message us through either YouTube or Facebook, and we will be sure to look into that issue and work with you to improve that specific issue. But we really appreciate your joining us daily, and we hope that you too join us every day still. Thank you.
Well, congratulations to the radio station and to the Office of the Governor for the successful application. And I meant to say, I wanted to just commend your broadcasters, because I've listened to them broadcasting, and I love to listen to them when they are announcing different programs and games and dances. I think they do a really good job. So congratulations to your entire team. And thank you again.
Yes, thank you. I have a very good team with a few members, but very good team. With the administrative officer, Yamas Taebel, program director, Switcher Kalyo, News Director Shirlene Nicholas, IT Ratni Edgar, our broadcasters or announcers, Moislin Irons Alphonse, Fraulein Frederick, Jason Ernest, Benjamin George, Byron Everiam, and our maintenance Marcelino Oliver. Okay, so that's the Physics AH team. On behalf of the Physics AH team, I thank you very much. And kailangan promoin o Merry Christmas o Parusia.
Kalanganan ko mo yung kalanganan ko por Carlos yan. Merry Christmas.
Kailangan.
Siya alangan Pohnpei Physics CH Radio. Ang success lang at ang arway po kanan Pohnpei sang Talanyar Net Pohnpei nan kan tagakapachabachian Micronesia. Physics CH Radio. Mauya sa Waliman Government and Pohnpei. Niya Wal Kawait and Pohnpei Public Broadcasting Corporation. Magan Qatar at ngal ngayon na kilorets kit kabagay sa tuwaw. Pokin Kerlai kay Watchman. This is the voice of Pohnpei, Physics CH Radio, now resuming its transmission from Kalanyar Net, Pohnpei State.